Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. That's
Just 1 month after the end of Charlie Kirk, conservative podcaster Benny Johnson stood by Attorney General Pam Bondi and described in horrific detail a threatening letter that was sent to his home.
The individual described why he wanted me dead. I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter.
I'm noticing he skipped one. I'm noticing he skipped one thing. He didn't say straight. Much to consider. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe this guy knew what he was. Maybe this is a homophobic hate crime. It is, after all, coming out day. National Coming Out Day, it seems. So who knows?
They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field, just like Charlie.
This is so funny to me because like Benny Johnson gets one descriptive threat and gets to go on Fox News and talk about it, and then the administration is going to take action or whatever. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, we probably ban 1,000 threats in not even a private correspondence, but in a very public setting in this chat every day. That's awesome. It's pretty cool.
How much blood would come out of my head and neck when it was blown off. This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife with great joy.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says she plans to bring that man to justice.
We have arrested the author of this letter, George Isbell.
Bro, if we were to, I'm going to keep it real. If we were to arrest all of if the administration was this proactive with all the threats I receive, I feel like there wouldn't be a prison large enough to house these people. If I were to do if I were to do a press conference every time I received a threat, I wouldn't be able to do the broadcast. I would just only be doing press conferences. To be fair, though, we would be cleaning up the streets. A lot, I mean a lot of Nazis would be going to prison. Like, so many of them.
Was taken into custody this morning, and we are charging him federally.
Joining me now exclusively, Benny Johnson. Benny, I reached out to you as soon as I saw this. It is horrifying. I've read the complaint from DOJ. There's a picture of the letter in here. It is absolutely grotesque. And it says that your wife, Kate, a mother of 4, is the one who discovered this. What was it like when she discovered this letter?
Well, yeah, thank you, Kaylee, so much for having me on. It was awful, and I'm still trying to comprehend how anyone could celebrate Charlie Kirk dying, how anyone could celebrate parents being under terroristic threat like this. Charlie, of course, 2 beautiful children and his wife that are left without a father and a husband. How could anybody celebrate that? And it's something that has hit me over the last couple of days, Kaylee, and it's that these people, by and large, they don't understand the joy that is parenthood. The Democrat Party is actually the party of childless individuals in America. 20 points more for Democrats, for childless voters. The Republican Party is the party of parents. They're the party.
I gotta get married. Wife and kids carries a lot of weight with these goons. I mean, yeah, he did do that. He did do that. Miyaga, make insane asylums great again. Benny's a patriotic American and father, husband, and brother in arms. This is all equally disgusting to witness from overseas, too. America's the world's jewel of liberty and no place for thugs and communists. Do you think he says that when he blows guys? I don't know. Is he the gay guy whose wife banned him from going camping? Yeah, he's the gay guy whose wife banned him from going on business trips without her present. I feel like Benny's going to use this as an opportunity to be like, listen, I don't want to threaten your security. You're the mother of my children. I should probably travel alone again. I should probably be allowed to travel alone again, right? Right? Come on, business trips are back on the table.
Of joyful enjoyment of the family structure. I know you know this, and the data shows this as well, Kaylee. It's something that I think is really profound when it comes to the threatening nature of these letters against families and against the families here in America, that you have to understand that there is a major cultural difference between the two parties, and that is that the Republican Party is the party of parents. All available data shows that. In fact, 55% of all fathers are Republicans in this country, and a recent poll, Kaylee, showed that of the #1 priorities.
I don't understand what this has to do with anything. To me, it's like saying, 58% of Republicans like the color red. Like, okay. Like, what the does this have to do with anything? It's not even like a super significant percentage. Okay, 55% of fathers are Republican. So what? So you have a 5% advantage on that front? Like what does that mean? What does that mean at all? 100% of people have had two biological parents. I just don't understand this. The most thing that Kirk got is just hate. He just has a lot of enemies. Anyone who's different from a conservative Republican white dude.
For young men under the age of 30 that are Republicans, fatherhood is the #1. And so when you're looking at the difference in how people...
Oh, he's trying to present the narrative that it's like the left is anti-family. That's why they want to kill me, because I'm a beacon. I am a representation of the things that they hate, which is being in a committed relationship. Cool.
Could tolerate this. I think there's your boundary lines. Republicans are the party of the family.
Well, this individual, there's no doubt about that. And that is the #1 goal of Gen Z men. I remember covering that. When you read this letter, though, this individual, he talks about your followers. And let me read to you a quote he says about your millions and millions of followers. You all need to be exterminated. So this was toward you and toward every single person who ascribes to the movement that animates what makes you you.
Yes, and I don't understand where this hatred could truly come from, and it's hard to really reconcile it, especially when you come from a party of peace.
Bro, that's so funny. Like, as someone who is on the receiving end of millions of threats, okay, I know where the hate comes from. I'm sure he does too, okay? Yeah, it's because you say shit like, "Oh, Republicans are the party of peace." That's probably why you do get a metric ton of hatred. Did they just discover what hate comments are? I know. Like, do I think it's good that people play fast and loose with like credible threats? No, I don't. As the recipient of like I said, millions throughout my career for the past 12 years or so, I would say it would probably be better if I didn't receive it. But at this point, it's just like background noise, you know? It's just background noise. There's not really anything you can do about it unless you're Benny Johnson, in which case the attorney general will go and find the person who did this and will prosecute them. But I will tell you, I know exactly where it comes from. You know, I know exactly where it comes from. I don't agree with the sentiment, and I don't agree with the false characterizations, but I still know exactly what the motivations are behind such a thing like that. It's a person who is deeply, deeply sad, deeply angry, deeply resentful, and finds a sense of community and finds a sense of purpose in their lives by slotting themselves into a specific type of ideology. In my case, the people that are sending me those threats oftentimes are coming from a multitude of different types of ideology, whether extreme centrists, extreme nihilists, or of course a bunch of different reactionary principles, reactionary points of view, whether it be the pro-Israel crowd, neo-Nazis of different sorts. It is what it is. Red pillars since Andrew Tate, Sam Hyde fans, lolly neo-Nazis. Centrist is so funny. I'm sorry. Yeah. Centrist pro-NATO liberals have straight up sent me death threats. Isn't that funny? Like Ryan Ruth style.
want peaceful debate. But this is a party that is spiraling, and I think they've lost the debate, Kaylee. And because they've lost the debate, they are going to resort to violence. And it's awful to see. It's something that I don't want for my country. It's something that I want to see resolved. And the only way to resolve it are for Democrats to say, enough of us need to die, Kaylee. How many more times do we need to see our president shot in the head? How many more times do we need to see...
That's such a funny statement. How many more times do we need to see the president, our president, shot in the head? Like, bro, how many times do you think it happened? Like, what? That's so funny. Guys, he's getting shot in the head every weekend. It's really up.
Charlie Kirk's. How many more times do we need to see ICE facilities shot at? How many more Christian children's praying in churches do we need to see slaughtered? The Democrat Party and the leadership of the Democrat Party need to say enough is enough. We're going to reconcile with the extremist left wing of our party. We're going to acknowledge that we have to do something about it. But instead, Kaylee, they are nominating somebody for the Attorney General of Virginia that is calling for exactly what happened to my family yesterday. A man was charged for threatening my family to kill me and to kill children. Well, John Jay.
Wait, what?
Jay Jones, who's running for Attorney General in Virginia, he's on record doing the exact same thing, calling for.
Whoa, that's crazy. Guy running for Attorney General in Virginia is like, I'm running for Attorney General in Virginia so we can kill Benny Johnson. That's a crazy platform, dude. That's pretty wild. I wonder what he's talking about.
Or the killing of Republicans and the killing of Republican children, calling them little fascists. Will any Democrat...
The J. Jones stuff is really crazy, lol. This is what they're mad at. Let's see. The private messages offer a disturbing glimpse into how Jones, who is looking to oust incumbent Republican Attorney General Jason Miyares this fall, describes his political adversaries in private conversations. Dem Attorney General nominee J. Jones fantasized about shooting former Virginia GOP Speaker. He receives both bullets. What? Hence the glowing tributes from the R's. Damn, that was from Mark. Sorry, Charlie. No worries. Talking about Joe Johnson, Adiba, basically a R, leaked everything to your caucus. It's why Gilbert gave him such a glowing tribute. I knew what you were talking about. Served with my dad, who had nice words, a little choice sprinkled in. I didn't look at that. I just saw a guy died and assumed you'd have words. He was a D. They say nice things about everyone, lol. If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals and piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. J. Jones, 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. That's I can't believe that. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Jay, please stop. Lol. Okay. It really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. You weren't simply asking questions that you know it. I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. You weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. There isn't. I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug in that you meant it. I honestly am questioning a lot today. I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Bro, this guy is crazy. He was talking about Gilbert opposing gun control in the aftermath of a school shooting. God damn, dude. That is crazy. Now, obviously the you know, this is a wild person. That's what I'll say. I don't know how he got this hard. Of course, I condemn this rhetoric, obviously. as I have over and over again. It is pretty wild that in spite of this rhetoric, though, he is like doing fairly well, I think, in the attorney general's race, right? Isn't he? Isn't there a, wait, oh no, this is a different guy, right? This is the Dem AG nominee. Let me see. Text from Democratic AG candidate Royal Virginia governor's race. Jay Jones text scandal sparks donation surge as GOP group pours millions. I mean, this just came out. Virginia Democrats defend Spanberger's handling of Jones text scandal. Virginia Democrats are defending gubernatorial nominee Abigail Spanberger's handling of a text scandal that has rocked the Commonwealth less than a month out from the elections. Over the weekend, the governor's race roiled by news that Democratic Attorney General nominee Jay Jones has sent text messages expressing violence towards former Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert back in 2022. Republicans have since used Jones's comments in which he suggested shooting Gilbert to attack Spanberger amid a national reckoning over the rise of political violence. Spanberger has repeatedly condemned the text, but she notably refrained from calling on him to drop out during a Thursday night debate against GOP nominee Winsome Earl Sears. Many Democrats see it as the right approach, even as Republicans step up their attacks over the controversy.
Understand why you just can't come forward and say he needs to go. I mean, we're talking about murder.
I don't like Abigail Spanberger, obviously, as you guys know, for obvious reasons. I will, however, say that she is cuckoo beans, okay? If I'm thinking about the right person. Jay Jones said cops should die and fantasize about murdering a dad and his kids, and Abigail Spanberger still hasn't called on him to drop out. That tells us one thing. She's okay with what he said.
We're talking about someone's life being taken from them. Have you nothing to say about that? Are you not going to address it? Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people. Are you saying political murder is all right?
It's so wild to me that Republicans get to fucking sit here and act like this is completely out of place in the modern political equation. Like they're trying to play the role of like civility politics here, which I find to be very strange, considering that they I've seen their campaign ads. I've seen their campaign ads where they do mock executions, for example. I've seen their campaign ads where they shoot like a 50 cal rifle. Like almost all of them engage in some shape or form of direct incitement to do political violence. And it's not like they have stopped. That's what's so crazy about this, right? Because they haven't exactly stopped. They haven't exactly tried to, really stamp out the violent rhetoric on their own side. Like the president will just straight up go on national television every day and be like, we need to brutalize the Antifa thugs. They're monsters. We have to kill them. We have to shoot them. I'm deploying the military. They're going to go full force. That's what he said. Full force. Whatever that fucking means, right? It's like, are we being for real right now? Like, I'm hearing what you're saying. My understanding is that Jones was leading before today. Now a bunch of Republican sites are claiming his opponent is surging, but are using Republican polls. We'll see what happens. I think it's an interesting situation. Obviously, it's something that I suspect Jones has already apologized for, right? Like, or is it a new text message? Nope. Virginia poll for Attorney General. Jay Jones, 46%. Is this dark woke? I don't know. I don't know what this is. 46% can still vote for this guy? Brutal. To be fair, the threat he made is a bit from The Office. I mean, yeah, obviously he doesn't mean it literally, chatters. Yeah, and it's also private correspondence. It's not like it doesn't actually fucking mean anything sincerely. Once again, we're kind of getting manipulated by the outrage farming a little bit. I do understand though, tensions are high right now, so it does make sense that people would take extra precautions in a situation like this. But he's being fucking hyperbolic in a private conversation, okay? That's why there's a meme about, the boys when the group chat gets leaked, we're all going to prison, that type of shit. Virginia AG Dem nominee Jay Jones issues a more full-throated apology after text revealed he wished to see former Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert killed. He says he reached out to Todd Gilbert to apologize directly to him and his family. I take full responsibility for my actions, and I want to issue my deepest apology to Speaker Gilbert and his family. Reading back those words made me sick to my stomach. I'm embarrassed, ashamed, and sorry. I've reached out to Speaker Gilbert to apologize directly to him, his wife Jennifer, and their children. I cannot take back what I said. I can only take full accountability and offer my sincere apology. Virginians deserve honest leaders who admit when they are wrong and own up to their mistakes. This was a grave mistake, and I will work every day to prove to the people of Virginia that I will fight for them as Attorney General. No, that's not a L. Guys, come on. Come on. Be for real. No, this is like Republicans would never apologize, I think, in this situation, and they would just like double down and then point the immediate blame back at like the Democrats. But like, come on, he's staying in the race. Like, I think the only thing I would tweak in this situation is like gun violence is an atrocity that actually is quite impactful on Virginian communities. And obviously, in my weakest moment, I was overcome with emotions thinking about the numerous victims of gun violence and the inability of the Republican Party to address said violence with competent legislation. And this output and this anger, while the anger itself is just, the way I communicated is completely inappropriate for a person that is, completely inappropriate for a person that's like running for office in any capacity. That's it. I do also want to remind people that, yes, the Republicans ran a man who called himself Black Hitler. The Republicans ran a man who was such a serial, prolific pedophile that he was barred from going to the local mall by the local police department. Republicans ran a person by the name of Randy Fine as well. That's it. That's all I need to say. Randy Fine. So when we talk about like, fucked up text messages, private correspondence, and like heated moments or whatever, spoiling, I think the Dems need they need to have more backbone, okay? They do. They need to have more fucking backbone in this process. I don't think the voters will punish their elected representatives, especially at a time like this when the Republicans have straight up completely destroyed whatever standard of normalcy that previously might have existed, whatever standard of civility that previously might have existed. Do I think in this day and age, anyone that has a D next to their name, anyone that goes and reliably votes for the Democratic Party is going to look at those text messages and go, yeah, I'm not voting for this guy. I can't do that. No, they feel the same level of anger. Is it just? No. Should you say things like that? No. Okay, you need to be more fucking careful. But the reality of the matter is, a lot of people are fucking angry. And also, if one side is presenting civility as this thing that we must uphold and the other side has no use for it whatsoever, then you're always going to fucking lose. VA is a super centrist state that has so many ties to the military. I know. Northern Virginia is a fucking stronghold for defense industry contracts. Norfolk. Anyway, you first should be the Dem motto. Let the Republicans condemn first because they never do. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too crazy for saying this, but like, we have a drunk rapist as the fucking Secretary of Defense, now the Secretary of War. We got an Epstein affiliate that's like stopping the fucking release of the Epstein files as the president, who himself has been credibly accused of sexual assault or found to be at least guilty of sexual assault in a civil court proceeding where the standards are lower than a criminal trial, of course, who's been allegedly, who allegedly raped his wife. Like, what are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? Oh, I can't believe this guy fucking said some crazy shit in a private text message to another person in a weak moment. Like, wow. Republicans have set the standard. And then they turn around and go, I can't believe it. Found liable, not guilty. True. Did I say guilty? I meant liable. That's why apologizing is an L. No, I don't. I think like if you are understandably embarrassed by what you said in that moment, then it's appropriate for you to say it. But that's why I also mentioned that he could have elaborated further and been like, these are the reasons why I had a weak and emotional moment, and it's not reflective of who I am, and it's not reflective of a sincerely held like policy position. You know, come on, dude. He literally said, you know, the dude and his children deserve bullets. Like that's pretty crazy. I think no one cares about civility politics, but it's good for everyone to rationalize it. If you do an apology, it doesn't change anything. Who are we kidding? Trump is president. No one cares about this shit. Yeah, I'm just saying, if you feel the need to do right by your constituents, if you feel the need to say something, because the no comment in that situation is going to only elevate it even further. Because like Republicans are going to use this from this day on all the way until the election, right? They're going to use this. They're going to farm it over and over again. It's good to at least have an apology that you can point to so that people go, all right, dude, you're fucking, it's a private text message that leaked. Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? He apologized for it. Calm the fuck down. Like, it does neutralize the argument a little bit. Do you see what I mean? And that neutralization of the argument matters for the supporters. But once again, even in his apology, I think it's important to like explain exactly what took place, like explain exactly what his mentality was. But yeah, Republican polls are saying that Jones is dropped and Mayares has a +6 lead here. Spanberger's still cleaning on the governor's race. And this is a Trafalgar poll. So all I'm saying is have a little bit more confidence in your base. Democrats, you are not very good at reading the room. You can rely on your base, especially with not what he said specifically, but like having a more radical approach to the things that you talk about. I do not think that people will punish you for stuff like this, especially because they are so desperate. They're so desperate for any kind of Democrat to put up a fight. A more progressive approach, not really radical. I mean, I know I'm saying radical from their perspective because they think like free healthcare is radical, right? They think stopping Israel from murdering children is radical. It's not radical at all. It's not only just, but it's also completely correct. Hassan for president, bro, already fell off. I know. Because the more people that watch you, the more likely you. That's how it works now. Actually, it kind of unironically does. Yeah, it's over for me. Oh, so we're doing straight up defamation to try to get the Trump admin to actually target journalists now, huh? Andy, no. New York City Antifa member Talia Jane Ben Ora was at January 6th in a MAGA costume. She was never charged with any crimes that day. Imagine being so stupid. You get told by these nut jobs that you got tricked by Antifa into rioting, and you're just like, sure, yeah, that makes way more sense and sounds much more in line with my character than what I used to say, which is that we were fighting for justice. I didn't want to overthrow the election based on things that made me genuinely believe I had to take action to help defend democracy. Some chick in a Trump beanie told me to punch a cop, and I just did it. This has to be the dumbest pretext for targeting political enemies. Antifa member is not a thing, and Andy knows this because posting about Antifa has been his whole grift for almost a decade. He's literally just trying to get me hurt because I have consistently reported through the propaganda and bullshit peddled by these psychotic uggos. Kirsty Noem saying Antifa is the same as ISIS.
We arrested recently in Portland was the girlfriend of one of the founders of Antifa. And
that was such a funny. We arrested recently in Portland. One of the girlfriends of the founder of Antifa is such a fucking bar, dude. I wish this wasn't also an incredible threat to free speech. Like, it sucks because, like, you have to take this seriously because it's a serious threat. But it's being done in the dumbest ways possible. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
That we are hoping that as we go after her, interview her, and prosecute her, we will get more and more information about the network and how we can root them out and eliminate them from the existence of American society. I want to thank the new journalists here today for telling their stories and for being able and willing to go to the streets and to cover what's happening.
Who is the girlfriend of the founder of Antifa? Because like Antifa, anti-fascism has been around for as long as fascism has been around. So like, she got to be like 100 plus years, and European too, probably. I mean, I guess we had American anti-fascists as well, but like that's a old ass lady, man. I guess they couldn't arrest the founder because the founder probably died by this point. But like, I assume she's actually talking about like Portland, the Portland Rose City Antifa or something, right? Anyway, happy birthday to the girlfriend of the founder of Antifa, who today celebrates 111 years of fighting fascism. Bro, I heard they arrested your girl. Yeah, I'm the founder of Antifa. Connor, has anyone seen my girlfriend?
Here in America, many times the legacy media has looked the other way, refused to tell the stories. The networks have not really focused on what this is and what damage it is doing to our country, and how this network of Antifa is just as sophisticated as MS-13, as TDA, as ISIS, as Hezbollah, as Hamas.
That's fucking as ISIS. Yeah. Antifa, a terror organization as sophisticated, with a network of influence as sophisticated as Hezbollah, ISIS, Trendaragua. Also, some of these things are not as militant or even exist. Like, I would put Trendaragua and Antifa in the same category as just like made up problems by the administration. One is designed to basically arrest and apprehend whoever the fuck they think is a Democrat and annoying them. The other is a way to storm entire building complexes to arrest and apprehend and detain, deport every Venezuelan person or someone who just looks kind of Venezuelan, I guess. And then you have like, you know, CIA-backed terror networks like ISIS, CIA and Israel-backed terror networks like ISIS that are weaponized as a destabilizing force in a region far, far away from the United States of America. Okay, and then Hezbollah, which again, I don't know what kind of motion Hezbollah has ever had in the United States of America.
Hamas as all of them. They are just
or Hamas. Oh, God, it's so
dangerous.
funny.
They have an agenda to destroy us, just like the other terrorists we've dealt with for many, many years. And today is the day that we have a president that won't tolerate it and will stand up and fight for the American people. So thank you for being here.
Also, yeah, one of the girlfriends implies the founder of Antifa isn't a polycule. Okay, that tracks, though. That does track. I mean, that makes sense. That actually is the most sensible thing that she presented.
Being so bold and for standing in the gap at such a time as this. It will matter. It will make a difference, and your life will be one of significance because of what you've done today. So with that, God bless you, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
What are you talking about? Hezbollah was recently caught putting down fiber in West Hollywood. I fucking wish, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh, my Lord. I wish. Speaking of a person taking advantage of fiber, it seems Bashar al-Assad now lives quietly in a luxury tower in Moscow, reportedly addicted to spending long hours playing online video games, according to Die Zeit. This person says, it is journalistic malpractice to not tell me what he's playing. I 100% agree. I need to know what he's playing. I guess it's the next Fortnite Friday. Oh my God, I was about to retweet it and be like, next Fortnite Friday, guess. And instantly I see Bashar al-Assad, if you see this, fans would love to see you join us on Fortnite Friday. Get it out of your system, chatters. Yes, everyone in the chat in unison. Well, Bashar al-Assad games more than you do. Yes, he does. Okay, what of it? Obviously, this is actually proof that I should game even less. Clearly, being a gamer means you become like Bashar al-Assad. Also, I can't believe we just like fucking moved around so much. I forgot that this gay man was victim to a homophobic hate crime death threat. Let's get back to him.
Democrat have the bravery to say he needs to drop out. We haven't heard a single one. We don't even see it get covered in the media. And so that is what leads to this horrific culture. We need to reestablish the family. We need to reestablish morality. We need to reestablish things that center people in a godly way, because what we were truly fighting, Kaylee, is godlessness versus godliness.
Yes.
And when you have a centering of Christianity, you see life as precious.
So you're saying we'll get a hot wife if we game a lot? That's true. Assad is a wife guy, and it makes sense why he is a wife guy. Perhaps the only Perhaps the only fucking redeeming quality. Bashar al-Assad is offlining my base. He's a Rust player, you think? Expedition 33 is incredible. Syria has a long history of appreciating French art, but this is different. I cried countless times. Bashar al-Assad via AP. Bashar al-Assad has a hot wife? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because God created life. And so it is not up to the 10 Commandments that don't kill. And so it is like, as a Christian worldview, we see life as precious. We don't want to take it, and we want to resolve things peacefully. Unfortunately, when you're godless and when you have nothing else to ground you, you will resort to violence when you believe you've lost the argument.
Yeah.
He also has a banger theme.